Hey guys, my name is Darkwater Killer, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. In this episode of my Datapack tutorial series, I'll be showing you how to make custom furnace recipes, including using the blast furnace, smoker, and campfire introduced in Minecraft 1.14. Okay, so I'm in the Datapack world, and let's start by explaining what exactly a furnace recipe is. If you played Minecraft for any amount of time, you should know that the furnace is a pretty important block. All it does is it takes a fuel and a smeltable or cookable item, and what it does is it processes that item into a different one. Usually, if it's like something like pork chops, for example, it takes raw pork chops and makes them cooked, or turns raw beef into steak, things like that. And when you're creating a furnace recipe, the things you have control over are the ingredient item, the resulting item, the amount of time it takes to cook, and the amount of XP rewarded when you remove the result item from its respective slot in the furnace. In this is all the same for the blast furnace, the smoker, and the campfire. So what I'll be referring to these recipes as in bulk are furnace style recipes. So if I say furnace style recipes, what I'm really referring to is recipes that can be created for furnaces, blast furnaces, the smoker, and the campfire. So how do we make a recipe for furnaces? First, we need to come up with a recipe to create. In this tutorial, the recipe I'll be creating is smelting sticks into torches. As you can see, currently I'm unable to do that, and that's because, well, I have yet to actually create the recipe for that. So, let's head over to Notepad++, and I'll show you exactly what to do. Okay, so I'm over in Notepad++ now, and I have a blank file. And so what you want to start off with, as with the crafting recipes, you just want to start off with the curly braces, and I'm just going to save it now. So you save the furnace recipes in the same place where you save the crafting recipes, because it is, well, in the name it says it's a furnace recipe, and so it's saved in the same area as custom crafting recipes. And I'm just going to save this recipe as, let's call it sticks to torches dot JSON. Okay, and now my braces are highlighted, so it's syntax highlighting in Notepad++ is recognizing that it's a JSON file. And the first thing is the type tag. And the type for a regular furnace is just smelting. Okay. In a furnace, there's only a single ingredient. So it's not anything where it's like in shapeless recipes, it was ingredients and it was a list, or in shaped recipes, there was a pattern with a key. It's just a single ingredient. It's a compound tag, and inside this, all it is the tag item with the name of the item, so Minecraft stick, and that's all that goes inside this ingredient area. You can use a different tag for using groups of items, like if you wanted to make it use, for example, turn any log into torches, you would say, I believe it's tag and hashtag Minecraft logs. What this is saying is it's saying anything that is a Minecraft log, so oak logs, oak bark, stripped oak, as well as all the other tree variants. Um, that's basically what this tag is saying. It's saying that this recipe will work with any of those. But let's just go back to item, Minecraft stick. Okay, so after your ingredient tag, you want a result tag. And we want the result to be Minecraft torch experience. And what experience is when you take the item out of the furnace, a certain amount of XP will be rewarded. And so what the number here is just saying is for every stick I smelt into a torch, it's going to give 2 experience. So if you smelt 4 sticks into torches, it'll reward 8 experience. Okay, and the final tag we'll be using is cooking time. And this is just a number in game ticks. So by default, furnaces take 200 ticks to smelt an item. With 20 game ticks per second, that means that it'll take 10 seconds to smelt a torch. And that's the last tag, actually, we need to type. So our furnace recipe should be done and working. I will hit Control S and go back to the world. Okay, so now we're done with the recipe. And as always, we have to reload the data packs. So I'm just going to wait for that to finish reloading. And now that it has been reloaded, if we put coal and sticks into the furnace, you'll see the coal is consumed, it's starting to smelt, and the recipe is functional. In a moment, you'll see, there you go, it smelted 1 stick, and it created 1 torch. So that's how you create a recipe for the regular furnace, and that's at a cooking speed of 200 ticks. But it doesn't have to be set to that value. That cooking time can be whatever value you want it to be, as long as it's a positive integer. So let's see what happens if we play around with that value and what kind of results we'll get by doing that. Alright, I'm back over in Notepad++, and instead of making our cooking time 200 ticks, let's change that value to 20 ticks. We'll change the value to 20 ticks. So with 20 game ticks per second, we just made our recipe take 1 second to smelt a torch. And I'm just going to make sure I saved and just head back over to the game and see if that math is correct. Alright, we're back in the game. I have already reloaded the data packs, so I'm just gonna put some fuel in the furnace, put a stick in there, and as you see, it's much faster, and that is because we lowered the cooking time from 200 ticks to just 20 ticks, and it takes about a second for the torches to smelt, and using the burn time of coal or charcoal, this actually means that with a cooking time of 20 ticks, it'll smelt up to 80 torches per coal or charcoal, because coal and charcoal burn for 1,600 ticks. And if you do a little bit of math with that, that does come out to smelting 80 sticks. So just that's what lowering cooking times or raising it can do. It can change the basically the efficiency of fuels in furnaces and things like that. And if you actually notice, let me swap over to survival mode. So game mode, survival. When I take these torches out of the furnace, you notice that I'm at level 1 with like 2 segments of experience. When I take this out, I should be getting 128 experience points. So, yep. So I pulled out 64 torches, got 128 experience points, and that was enough to raise me up to level 6 flat. So that's what the experience value in the recipe file is doing. It's just when you take the items out, you get that amount of experience per item smelted. That's how you create recipes for the furnace. But how do we make recipes for these 3 blocks? The blast furnace, the smoker, and the campfire. Well, it's really simple because it's the exact same thing as furnace recipes, except for the fact that instead of setting the type tag to smelting, it's just a different string. So in the case of a blast furnace, the type tag will be blast. In the case of the smoker, the type tag will be smoking. And for campfires, the type tag will be campfire. And let me go ahead and make 3 recipes, 1 recipe for each of these blocks, and I'll be right back. Alright, as you just saw me do, I just wrote 3 recipes, 1 for each block, and I'll go through and explain each one. So, to start off with, though, if you want to use any of the recipes made in the video, I'll have a paste bin link for each recipe in the description. So, this first recipe, the type is Minecraft blasting, and that's just saying that this is done in the blast furnace. The ingredient is Minecraft cobblestone, so it's just saying that it takes cobblestone as an input. The result is Minecraft stone, so it outputs stone. It gives 5 experience, and it has a cooking time of 100 ticks, or 5 seconds. The second one is in the smoker, and its recipe type is Minecraft smoking. The ingredient is wheat. The result is bread. It gives 3 experience, and the cooking time is also 5 seconds. So it basically takes wheat in the smoker and it outputs bread. And this last one here is of type Minecraft campfire cooking. The ingredient is rotten flesh. The result is leather. And I omitted the experience tag because sometimes if you want to make a recipe, you can make it without certain tags, like you can make it without the experience tag as I show here, or if you make it without the cooking time tag, it will just default to that block's normal amount of time that it takes to cook items. So the default for a campfire is 600 ticks, which is 30 seconds. But for sake of time, I'm actually going to go ahead and actually lower that number to, let's make it 120 ticks. So what this is going to do is it's just going to take 60 seconds. 60 seconds? Not 60 seconds. Excuse me. It's going to take 6 seconds. Yeah, it's going to take 6 seconds to smelt rotten flesh into leather on the campfire. And I'll go ahead and head over to the game and show you these recipes in action. Okay, so I'm back in the game, and I'm just going to make sure that I have reloaded. and now I've reloaded. As I've explained, each of these recipes should be working for their respective block, so the blast furnace can now smelt cobblestone into stone. The smoker will now cook wheat into bread, and the campfire will convert rotten flesh into leather in a short amount of time. And the great part about using campfire for recipes is it can cook up to 4 things at a time. So that's how you create recipes for the 3 new furnace type blocks in Minecraft 1.14. It's the same thing as creating a regular furnace recipe, it's just a different type, and for these recipes you also have to include the Minecraft namespace, which is basically all I'm saying in that is when you go back and you look at the type, I had to write Minecraft : blasting, for example, instead of just smelting. So you just have to make sure that you do not omit that Minecraft namespace when trying to create one of these things. That's all I have on creating furnace and furnace style recipes for you guys today. I hope I was able to help you in some way. If you need help making custom crafting recipes or just creating the skeleton of a data pack, check out my Datapack tutorials playlist. In the next episode, I'll be covering the beginnings of custom loot tables. Although, because there's so much to cover, I'll probably end up breaking down loot tables into smaller chunks. That way I can go into details for all the different parts of loot tables. Please consider leaving a comment, giving feedback or future ideas. Leave a like, a dislike, it doesn't really matter. I just need to know how you felt about this video. And don't forget to make today an amazing one. See you guys in the next one.